We think we know these great masterpieces, right? We've seen them a million times in books and museums. But what if there's something more? Something hiding right there in plain sight? What if all we needed was just a new way of looking? Today, we're going to use a technological lens to see what might be concealed within the familiar. Okay, so on the left, you've got Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. We all know it, it's one of the most famous paintings in history. Now, take a look at the image on the right. This strange, almost ceremonial-looking figure. Believe it or not, that is also from The Last Supper. It was revealed by a simple digital trick, basically forcing the painting to look at its own reflection. So, what in the world is going on here? And that really gets to the heart of what we're exploring. What happens when we stop just looking at these masterpieces and start looking through them, using technology like some kind of digital kaleidoscope? It's a journey into perception, into art, and into the patterns that might just connect them all. So this journey really starts with a classic idea: the search for secrets that are hiding in plain sight. I mean, the hunt for hidden codes in art is a timeless obsession. For centuries, people have been searching for prophecies, for symbols, for things buried deep in the brushstrokes of the masters. But what's different now is that we have a completely new tool for that hunt. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this magic actually works. Let's talk about the digital mirror. It all kicks off with just one source image. It could really be anything, but for our purposes, it begins right here, with a single, kind of unassuming page from one of Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, just filled with his sketches and his writings. Next, using some pretty simple software, that image gets duplicated, and then it's just folded back on itself. It's mirrored along a central line, creating a perfect reflection. It's kind of like a digital Rorschach test, you know? And that one simple action can do this. It reveals a stunning hidden symmetry. All those seemingly random lines and notes suddenly just snap into focus, creating these intricate geometric patterns that feel almost, well, they feel almost intentional, don't they? So yeah, that's the key right there, this technique called digital mirroring. You're just taking an image, you're duplicating it, and you're flipping it to create a symmetrical composition from something that wasn't symmetrical to begin with. It's an incredibly simple process, but the results, they are profoundly complex. Now let's see what happens when we apply this exact technique to the work of a true genius. It's time to unfold Leonardo's mind. Right here, we're applying it to maybe the most famous study of human proportion ever created, the Vitruvian Man. On the left, you've got the iconic original, but on the right, the mirrored version transforms into something totally new, a form that seems to amplify Leonardo's original quest for ideal symmetry. And why is Leonardo's work such fertile ground for this? Well, for one, the guy was obsessed with anatomy and proportion. His notebooks are just overflowing with these incredibly intricate sketches. And get this, he famously wrote his notes in reverse, literal mirror writing. His entire life's work was this fusion of art and science, making it uniquely dense with potential patterns. The patterns that emerge from his work are so ordered, so specific, that it forces us to ask a much bigger question. Are we just looking at a clever trick, or are we somehow tapping into some kind of universal blueprint? I mean, just look at this. This is not a modern graphic design. This was generated entirely from the lines and scribbles on one of Leonardo's manuscript pages. The results are consistently and, well, startlingly geometric, as if they're following some invisible rule. This slide right here perfectly illustrates the mystery. On the left, you have a pattern generated from a Da Vinci notebook. And on the right, that's Metatron's cube, an ancient figure from sacred geometry, believed by some to contain the foundational patterns of the universe itself. The resemblance is uncanny. Or how about this comparison? On the left, another pattern derived from the Vitruvian Man. And on the right, that's a diagram of the E8 lattice, a complex structure from theoretical physics that some scientists believe could be a map of the fundamental particles and forces of our universe. Is this a coincidence? Or are we seeing a deep structure that connects art and science across 500 years? This all leads us to our final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, the eye of the beholder. Because there is, of course, a very powerful scientific explanation for all of this.
Our brains are hardwired to find patterns. We are pattern-seeking machines. It's why we see faces in clouds and figures in wood grain. This psychological phenomenon has a name. It's called pareidolia. Our minds are literally built to create meaning out of noise.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Is there really a hidden code embedded in the canvas by a Renaissance genius? Or is the code actually programmed into us? Is our own mind the final artist, finding a secret order in the chaos? Perhaps it doesn't matter whether the patterns were intentionally placed there by Leonardo or created by our own perception. Looking at this mirrored vision of creation, maybe the point is that the final masterpiece isn't on the canvas or in the code. Maybe it's in the meaning we choose to find for ourselves. The question isn't just what's in the art, but what do you see?